Hey. My name is Rick.
Ciao. My name is Millie.
And this is episode 24
24
of season 3
Tre.
of Yonks Ago. I mean, that was just about our best intro ever.
I predicted you were going to say hey at the start.
We're in sync.
Yeah.
Season 3, could it be Donny B? Who is he? Just another bit of history that we're gonna get to know in a brand new little season of Yonks Ago. A father and a daughter putting on a show, finding out about people from Yonks Ago. Y-O-N-K-S Ago. Y-O-N-K-S Ago. Fact or fiction? We don't know. Y-O-N-K-S Ago.
Here we are, episode 24.
In the kitchen.
This is take 2 of this little introduction-y bit because our computer glitched. You didn't need to know that. I could have soldiered on.
I mean...
As if nothing had
we should
happened.
be truthful.
Full disclosure. Yeah. I feel like 24 reeks of honesty. Yeah. Why start episode 24 post-theme song with a web of lies?
Exactly.
Look, and we'd only gotten, 5 seconds in?
Yeah.
And...
5 seconds in, it's the 5th lockdown.
It is. Lockdown 5 seconds in. Episode 25.
24. Yeah.
I guess I hoped it was 25 but it's not. It's clearly 24.
Yeah.
25 minus 24 is 1, and we're number 1 on the podcast charts.
Yeah.
So thanks to all the Yonky Doodlers for getting us to the top of the pops.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm guessing we're at the top of the podcast charts.
We probably are.
I haven't checked.
Knowing us. Yeah.
Just assuming. Why wouldn't we be? Yeah. Because what I know about podcast listeners is they love erratic release schedules.
Yeah.
They like a very scant regard for fact in their historical podcast. Yeah. And they like to very slowly move through the lives of historical figures.
Yeah.
And they definitely love cricket scores. So this podcast has it all. We've got it all. Yeah. So I don't see how we're ever going to be dislodged from the top spot.
No, I don't think we can be.
Setting up camp.
Are there any other podcasts?
No, I think we've basically got a monopoly on podcasts now. Yeah. Everyone else went, should we start a podcast? And then they heard Yonks Ago and they went, no point. Yeah. This literally has it all. If Donny Bradman kills someone, we've got it all.
Oh, yeah.
That's all we need right now is some true crime.
Yeah.
Although, how did Archie Jackson get boils? True crime. Yeah. That's how. We'll get to the bottom of it by the end of this season. Or will we? Much like other true crime podcasts. Probably not.
Yeah.
We probably won't answer it. It'll just be like, who knows? Maybe they're guilty, maybe they're not.
He just got boils.
What is...
I mean, we've all been there, haven't we?
I mean, some of us have. But look, we're at episode 24, and I've got to tell you, we're at the turning point.
TP?
I believe we've already turned because we've made it to Donny B being selected for the Australian cricket team.
Being the best.
He is now an Australian Test player. Well, he's selected to be. He's yet to play.
I mean, we've all been there, haven't we?
I mean, if you haven't had boils and been an Australian Test cricket player, are you even Archie Jackson?
No.
Although Archie Jackson has not been selected, as far as I know. Only Donny B has. He's the young pup who got the nod.
But he did, didn't he?
I don't think, as far as I can tell, looking through, doing my research, which I finally did, I don't think he has played Test cricket yet, Archie Jackson.
Yeah, but we went through his life.
Oh, yeah. Look, I mean, we do know that he will get the nod at some point.
Yeah.
But Donny B beat him to the Holy Grail.
Well, he is sickly.
Yeah. I mean, and how did he get the boils? Yeah. Stay tuned to find out. So he's been selected, and as promised, this is where we change gears.
Yeah.
Podcast-wise. Now I'm going to start to summarise.
Yeah.
The whole series.
Just like Ned Kelly.
So in this episode 24, Turning Point episode, Dawn of a New Day, welcome to the new era.
This is the last episode.
This is it. I'm going to do the rest of Donny Bradman's life now. He played cricket, he lived for a while, he did some stuff, he died. Thank you for joining us. And also, we suspect he may or may be Archie Jackson Boyle.
Yeah.
The jury is out.
I was just thinking, do you reckon we're like past 100 episodes recently?
Or of all up?
All up, yeah. No,
Well, look,
Episode
let's
24.
do some quick maths.
But we did those little mini
Yeah,
ones.
yeah, well,
do we
look-
discount them?
If we don't count those, we did about what? We did 17.
Yeah, 17.
17 Ned Kelly. Bang.
30 something.
We did about 50.
Oh.
We did about 57-ish Nancy Wakes.
Yeah.
Let's say 57, just because it
And now
ends
we've
in
done
7 as well.
24.
Yeah, so look, what are we up to? Quick maths. 17
that's-
and 57
that's
equals
you.
74. Plus 24, well, that's 98.
Oh.
You add in those little mini episodes, but can you add in those episodes?
No.
Why would you? So look, full length episode wise, we're nearly at
Yeah.
the ton. We're nearly at the holy grail of cricketing Mecca. And I'm mixing my religious metaphors, I think. But look, I don't know what we're going to do when we get to a ton, and I also don't know if I've said the right number of episodes for each season.
Yeah, we just YOLO'd
I was
that.
just ballparking.
Yeah.
Because it is, we're doing cricket at the moment. You got a ballpark. Where do you play cricket? Ballpark. So I'm just excited to be in the kitchen
Yeah.
doing some. I've got a lot of podcast energy built up here in lockdown 5. So look, this episode, my plan is to summarise in whatever detail we can the debut season, the debut Ashes series of Don Bradman, and try to include as well any interesting tidbits about his outside cricketing life that might be important to know. Because
where's his girlfriend been?
She doesn't get much of a mention, but I think that's probably in keeping with your basic cricketing lifestyle.
Yeah.
It makes sense.
Yeah.
Yes, I've got a bit of romance brewing, but cricket comes first. See you in the off-season. So look, we are at the debut season. Donny B has been selected for the Australian cricket team to take on the might of the MCC. And the first test is to take place in Brisbane.
Oh.
Now, this is his debut for his country.
B for Brisbane.
So you would think that Donny B in Brisbane, playing for the first time, what we know of Donny B is he usually does pretty good.
Oh, yeah, he does.
Does he do first time good?
Yeah, first time good.
First time good, second time bad.
Really bad.
Yeah. So you'd be expecting good things from Donny B.
Some good fielding.
I mean, regardless of how he bats, you watch him zip around the field. So he goes out to bat in the very first game, out for 18.
Oh.
It's not the stellar explosion onto the scene that you want. But he does have 2 innings to make a mark, don't forget.
Yeah.
And in the second innings, out for 1. So look,
Well, at least it's not a duck.
so that's right. He managed to score in both innings. England went on to win that first test by 675 runs.
Jesus.
Come on, Australia.
Oh, dear.
So that's not the start to the Australian cricketing summer that anyone would be hoping for. Top score in Australia's first innings, Jay Ryder.
Ooh.
Don't even know who Jay Ryder is, but well done him for making 33 runs in what was basically an abysmal effort at the Brisbane exhibition ground. This was before they played at the Gabba.
Ooh.
Well. Little bit of history. The Brisbane exhibition ground. They were begging for runs and they couldn't get them. So second test comes around, and after Donny B had made a total of 19 runs in the first test, the captain tapped him on the shoulder and said, "Guess who's 12th man, Donny B? Donny B for bring us some drinks, mate."
Who's the captain?
Captain. Question without notice is, I think maybe, was it Woodfull? I think it might have been Woodfull.
Oh, that rings a bell.
I'm not convinced. I should have done my research.
It's all right.
It probably says somewhere. Wait. Captains for Australia, Jay Ryder.
Oh,
There you go.
who the hell is that?
Well, I would never. Well, I have never in all my years. He top scored with 33. Captain's not.
Where's he been?
Where's Jay Ryder been? Just been waiting. Just been.
He doesn't play state games.
Doesn't bother with them. Not interested. Or he could play for some state that never got mentioned, like Western Australia.
Yeah, I was thinking that as well.
Because New South Wales only bother with the eastern seaboard.
Yeah.
You know? So second test, Donny B isn't even allowed to bat.
Yeah.
He's just 12th man, bringing the drinks out, making sure everyone's hydrated. And so, obviously, he makes no runs in that. England goes on to win by 8 wickets. Now, this Walter Hammond for England, little Wally Hammond, is he the captain? Let me see, captain. Nah, Chapman. What's going on here?
Chapman.
I've never even heard of these people.
Yeah.
But Walter Hammond made 251 runs.
Woo!
That's a good effort. So 8 wickets. England's coasting at this stage.
Yeah.
And so third test, they're like, Australia's panicking.
Yeah.
What are we going to do? There's nothing's working. And I think Donny B was probably pretty bad at bringing the drinks out.
Yeah.
I reckon he would have been good because he's zipping.
But maybe he was just like, he was feeling a bit like salty.
Yeah.
Or you demoted me, so I'm going to be real slow at bringing you these drinks. Or he'd be wanting to prove himself.
He'd be a good 12th man as well because he's so good.
Yeah.
And when someone else goes on, they bring on the 12th man to be the substitute fielder.
Yeah.
Oh, so, but
Prime position.
Yeah, but maybe he was trying not to be too good because
Yeah.
they're like, we can just keep him as 12th man.
Yeah.
He never scores runs, but he's awesome in the field. But look, third test, they bring him back.
Okay.
Our man Donny B gets another crack at it. And this time, second innings, our man Don Bradman becomes the youngest ever player to score a test century.
Ooh.
He gets to 112 runs.
That's good. That's what you want to say.
Youngest ever, like Donny B. He's come back from nowhere. And he's now in the history books as your youngest ever player with 112 runs. But was it enough? No, it was not.
No.
If anything, England were like, who should we let score some runs this match while we cruise to victory by 3? They only won by 3 wickets this time, though, tightening up.
Okay.
Walter Hammond made 200 runs this time.
Who's Walter Hammond again?
He's an English batter.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay.
And he's just racking up the runs. He's not fussed. And England have wrapped up the series.
As they should.
That's 3-0 already.
Yeah.
It's a 5-test series, so what do they care? But your fourth test comes around. I haven't been saying where the tests are. Sorry, Yonky Doodlers. Second test was at the Sydney Cricket Ground.
Mm-hmm.
So they made Donny Beebe drinks man at his home cricket.
Dear.
Well, that is cruel. He's like, fine, I get to play. I get to play for Australia in my home ground. I get to carry drinks. But I'm going to be the best at it.
Yeah.
And your third test was at the Melbourne Cricket Ground. So Melbourne, the MCG got to see Donny B's breakout performance. The MCG's always been pro Bradman. They were the ones who were like, how good a fielder is Donny B? We don't care. Put him in the side. So fourth test comes around. It's at the Adelaide Oval. And after the rambunctious effort by Donny B, they're like, young kids are good, eh? They're like, we need more young kids. Any other good young kids?
Archie Jackson.
You better believe it.
I thought.
You better believe it, Millie. They're like, let's get this other young kid in. And so
Who's
for the
out?
first time, I could look up the team lineup, but that's not the summary I'm going
No.
for right now. Look at me, I've got palpable momentum here, Millie.
Sorry.
Don't try to debunk me with team sheets. What are you trying to do?
Give me my stats.
Because I could find out, but I'm not gonna.
Nah, don't care.
So this is the very first time, it's February 1929, that Archie Jackson and Don Bradman get to share the baggy green.
As they should.
And what I didn't tell you, no, I did tell you. I 100% told you. You know what I was going to say? What I didn't tell you, Millie, was that when Don Bradman scored his century, he was the youngest ever player in history to score a test century. And then I remembered I said almost those exact words.
But Dad, did you know
What?
that Don Bradman, when he got his century,
What?
he was the youngest.
In test history?
Yeah.
Well, why didn't you tell me,
I forgot
Millie?
the rest.
Where do you get these facts from? How do you
My
know
stats,
these things?
My stats. I've been telling you.
And so, look, Don Bradman, Don Bradman and Archie Jackson get to bat together in this test.
As they should. Period.
And during that innings, Archie Jackson scores 164 runs.
Yeah.
And he becomes the youngest ever test batsman to score a century.
Is he younger?
He's younger than Donny B.
I remember.
Only just.
Yeah.
But he pips Donny B at the post. So he scores 164 runs. Donny B does not score a century in this particular innings, but he does enough to people are still very cock-a-hoop about our Donny B. And they're like, Archie Jackson, Donny B, the future is bright. But again, England win the test. But only by 12 runs.
Ooh.
It's tightening up.
That
Why?
is.
Because of youth.
Yeah.
Youthful.
Get another one in there.
Youthful
Just replace them all.
And then there's a little break.
There's like a cheeky little 4-week break in the cricket season. And during this time, let's see what Bradman's up to, because obviously he's consolidating his cricket career.
Mm-hmm.
He was briefly the youngest ever Test player to score a century, very briefly, lasted almost a test. But his working life has become increasingly insecure, Millie.
Oh, dear.
Because it's 1929. I don't know if this rings any economic bells for you.
Yes.
I don't know if you've gone into your history books. I don't know if you've told...
No, I was there.
Good. I didn't see you there. I spent a lot of time in 1929. And I feel like if I'd seen you there, I'd remember. But I guess I was...
No, I lived underground.
Ah, you're one of the mole men. Yeah, that makes sense. I avoided the mole people as a matter of course.
Fair enough.
Yeah, they weren't my cup of tea. I worked in a tea factory, which was one of the few jobs going around at the time because it was 1929.
Yeah.
And so, look, economic conditions in the nation following, obviously, I don't want to go into the economic history of the time, of the era, but let's just agree that economically, problems.
Yeah.
All right. And our Donny B's not immune to that. So one of the things businesses that suffered was where Donny B worked. Westbrook Sydney real estate office was like, no one wants houses. Everyone's living underground. Yeah. Bloody mole people. They've destroyed the real estate market. They also affected the lighting industry. Yeah. Because mole people didn't care for lights. Light sales went, ironically, through the roof. No, it's the opposite. The opposite. Underground. So dear Westbrook closed its doors and Bradman was out of work.
Oh dear.
So he could have gone back to Percy Westbrook's Bowral business, all the way back to Bowral. Yeah. He's like, I can't. Nah. I've got my...
Too far.
I'm too entwined in the state and national cricketing community now. Bowral's the middle of nowhere. Yeah. And they won't let me play cricket.
No, exactly.
As we know, he's got a lifetime ban for being too damn good. And so obviously that would not have helped his cricket career going back to Bowral. And so he's like, what can I do? Where can I go? And so for the first time in his life, Bradman was very briefly an unemployment statistic.
Oh, dear.
So for the first quarter of 1929, as unemployment statistics are skyrocketing, every day in Sydney and all around the country, tens of thousands of what the newspapers called ill-dressed, sad-eyed and gaunt-faced men. I mean, why sink the boot in? The media's harsh. These poor guys, they're unemployed, they're starving, they're hungry, they're just trying to make a buck.
Sad-eyed.
They're sad-eyed, they're broken. And you've got to call them ill-dressed. Their fashion leaves a lot to be desired. What's with last season's boots, losers? The media are harsh. Ill-dressed. Like sad-eyed, fair enough. That paints a picture.
Yeah.
You know? You're like, I can see that. The lack of hope. The broken spirit. But ill-dressed. Pull your head in, media. It's not a time for fashion critiques. So all these...
Oh, they could have dressed a little better, though.
So all these fashion numpties are gathering outside government labour bureaus to collect their meagre food coupons, which could be exchanged for meat, groceries and other items, in case you're wondering. Oh. That's how food coupons work. And so, look, Bradman, I've got to clarify, he never joined the dole queues. So, although he was technically unemployed, he never lined up. Yeah. Because he didn't want to hang out with those fashion losers. But he and everyone else was aware of the dole queues and the difficulty in finding work. People were not immune to the fact that this was going on. But the cricketing community was like, we better look after Donny B.
Yeah.
Because if he goes under, if we lose him,
we all go under.
Yeah. He might get boils like Archie Jackson. We don't want that. We've got to protect him from the mysterious case of boils that is travelling through the cricketing community. And so he ended up getting a job at a sporting goods company, classic. Mick Simmons Limited offered Bradman a job at its office in Haymarket in the middle of Sydney.
Oh.
And a major part of his job was just training school kids.
Oh, that's nice.
Teaching them how to play cricket.
Yeah.
So they looked after him, made sure that he wasn't going to starve or have to dress badly. Bradman was grateful for the help and the job, but it reinforced to our young Donny B how vital it was in these increasingly tough times that he secure for himself a trade or profession that would bring him stable income. So he's like, sure, the cricketing community is looking after me now.
Yeah.
What if that all goes by the wayside? What then?
Oh, he's good at maths.
That's what he's thinking. He's like, I need a proper job. What am I good at? Maths. It's like, so maybe I need to look at something like accounting or even go into the law industry.
Yeah.
He's like, I've got to start thinking about this because this whole dole queue fashion loser situation, looking at all these ill-dressed, sad-eyed losers in the dole queue means I've got to start thinking about Donny B.
Yeah.
What's the future for me? What's the future for Donny B? But at the moment, it's all cool. I'm going to go work at Mickey Simmons, teaching kids how to play cricket. It's all good. It's all G for Donny B. So that sorts him out. And he's got one more test to play.
Ooh.
The fifth test. This one's played. Take a guess where this one's played.
Well, where have we been? Brisbane?
We've been Brisbane, Sydney, Melbourne, Adelaide.
Oh, is it a different place?
It's not a different one. It's one of the ones we've already been to.
Oh!
Melbourne.
Yeah.
Back to Melbourne.
I thought he'd get another chance to play this one.
Imagine. And so, final test of the season, Donny B comes out, whacks 123 runs in the first innings.
He's great at Melbourne, isn't he?
He loves Melbourne. And they love him.
Yeah.
It's a real good. I feel like he's Melbourne's own Donny B at this stage.
Oh, yeah.
They don't even let him play in Sydney.
Yeah.
They don't let that Melbourne boy play in Sydney. Why would they? So he scores 123 in the first innings. Well done, Donny B.
Yes.
Archie Jackson scores 46 in the second innings.
Oh, good job.
Australia wins the match
Oh!
by 5 wickets.
That's awesome.
So the series, England did it easy, 4-1 victory, but Donny B and Archie Jackson have done enough to say the future is bright.
Yeah.
Little summary of this season. This series was defined by the run scoring of Wally.
Yep.
This was Wally Hammond's first. It was his
debut.
It was his debut Ashes series as well. How Wally Hammond?
Yeah. The future is bright.
He scored. He had scores of 251 at Sydney, 232 at Melbourne, 119 and 177 not out at Adelaide, with an aggregate of 905 runs all up at an average of 113.12.
Wow.
So you got to say Wally Hammond is a force to be reckoned with.
Yeah.
And that was the first time Australia got a look at him.
Yeah.
And Donny B and Archie Jackson have they themselves said we're pretty good.
Yeah.
So as far as series go, England have said we're awesome. But we've also got some kids coming through. Have you seen Wally Hammond? He's a freak. He's a freak. And Australia have gone, we're pretty crap.
Yeah.
But we might not be forever because these kids are they're almost as good as Wally Hammond. Almost, not quite.
Yeah.
Wally Hammond's a freak, we all agree. But this guy, if we can keep these guys boil free, watch out. And that look, I think I've successfully summarised Don Bradman's debut series.
I think you did.
We got through 5 test matches
in one episode.
People said it couldn't be done.
They probably did.
And I said, it can be done. If I do it, it will be done.
Yeah.
It's up to me.
And it has been done.
To get it done.
Yeah.
And unless something goes horribly wrong, we've ticked it. Unless, I don't know, between now and uploading this episode, the internet dies. Like,
could happen.
The world order collapses.
Yeah.
Seems like a fanciful notion at this stage, but in the middle of lockdown 5, I wouldn't be surprised.
No, I wouldn't be surprised.
If I turned on the news and they're like, you've got half an hour of internet left, the world order's collapsing, say goodbye to your loved ones, and start hoarding food and toilet paper.
Oh, yeah. Obviously.
Nah, I'll just use leaves.
Yeah, I mean.
I've been waiting for the day where I can just use leaves. I'm ready.
I have a leaf collection.
Not for much longer, because I'm gonna be using them. You should never have let me know about your leaf collection.
No, I was telling you so that.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah. I was sharing. It's caring.
Sharing is caring. But barring that doomsday scenario, we have successfully turned the corner.
Successfully.
That's
how I remember how to spell it.
Successfully.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's a it's a trick. I can't remember what it's called. It's like a sound trick.
Yeah, like because boys eat country apples under shady elephants. I don't have to do that anymore.
You don't.
No.
It's just stuck now. You just can visualize it.
And beautiful. Beautiful.
Be beautiful.
Yeah. And just remember that an A is in there as well.
Yeah, and I remember weird with we are weird.
Yeah, we are weird.
Yeah. So it's like. So look, these are all handy tips, Yonky Doodlers. All handy tips.
If you can't spell, then
work away.
Yeah.
Trick your brain. Give your brain something to latch onto.
Exactly.
Your brain's got a lot to do.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, how many times do you blink a day? That's your brain doing that. We don't even ask our brain to think about that. We're just doing it.
Exactly.
Sorry if I made you think about blinking, and now you're like, now I'm thinking about how often I blink.
Yeah.
Sorry, but it won't last, or will it? But look, point is, your brain's got a lot going on, and so if you just have to give it a few little handy tricks to remember how to spell words, just do it. Come on. Stop being cruel to your brain. That's the number one motto of our podcast today. Be kind to your brain.
Yeah.
Your beef for brain.
Insane in the brain.
Be kind to your beef for brain, and everything will be well. And assuming that the world order hasn't collapsed, and we continue to potter on in the sweet new series summary podcast that we've developed, where we find out also little tidbits about Donny B's life. I mean, why wouldn't you come back for another episode of Yonks Ago?
That was very nicely done.
Mate, I feel like we're nailing podcasts.